This is a little bit of a different intro to the episode because this is our Christmas episode, and we thought it would be fun because we try to do something like different, right? Yeah. For every episode that we've done in person because it's so few and far between. So the first time we did it, it was
our 100th.
100th. Nothing crazy about that. It was in person, which was the crazy part. The second one we did was Halloween. I was Mario. You were a unicorn mermaid. And so we thought, hey, let's do something like that to make this episode seem a little bit more special and a little bit more Christmassy. So our first thought was, hey, let's just do an ugly sweater thing. And we thought, what would be even better than that is if we chose each other's clothes, basically. So this is our first time seeing what the other person brought. Now I want to highlight this. And again, this is I guess symbolic of this friendship partnership for this podcast. This is the box that I brought. It's very nice. It's got a fat bow on top. It's presentable. Deb, what did you bring?
It's in my bag.
It's in her work bag.
You're in my work/workout bag.
Well, bring it this way because I don't know if people can see it, but please let it take center stage.
Gotta close it so you can't peek.
This is the difference in quality that we bring to this show.
He doesn't get the bag either.
You're not getting this box. Are you kidding me? My wife's like, bring that home. I said, no, there's no way Deb would get this box. So this is our first time seeing the other sweater. So are you ready?
I just have to preface. I got to explain first.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, no, I'm just going to let's just get here.
Here you go.
Okay. All right. My wallet's in there. So just dig through my wallet.
All right. Is there any cash?
No. I'm a teacher.
That's a good point.
It's on you.
No.
Ready? Okay.
Oh, her wall's on top.
My wallet is literally right there.
Put this off to the side.
Oh, my God. Don't be mad at me because I got to explain yours. Look.
What? Okay, I'm not going to lie. Okay. For a second when I first opened it, I'm like, what is he doing to the cookie? I get it now. He's lifting. That's awesome. You see what I'm saying, though, right? At first, when I first opened it, like, what is...
I'm more worried about the elf. What's the elf?
What is it? Yeah, what's the elf? What is this?
It's a workout shop. See?
Yeah, you're right. Workout shop. That makes more sense. This is awesome.
We got to explain this if anyone's not watching this. Or
okay.
I don't know. Is this just going to be on YouTube?
Deb.
Well,
it's always on Deb.
Well, I mean, is it going to be audio?
It's going to be on both.
Front?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like we've done for 114 episodes.
Okay, hang on. So I got it. This is not your original sweater. So I ordered you a sweater from Amazon that told me it would get here like on Wednesday.
Okay.
And then when I checked on Wednesday, it said running late.
Oh. They lie when they say it's going to arrive by Christmas.
I said, insert cuss word here. So I had to quickly run to Marshall's and find something. Literally, there's no Christmas sweater. There's no ugly sweaters anywhere, mind you.
It's tough to find.
Nowhere.
Yeah.
So I got this luckily. Luckily, it's perfect because
that's awesome.
You work out, but the sad part is it's a medium. So I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I know.
Okay, hold on.
I looked at it and I said, "Shit, he's gonna be so pissed." I said, "Oh well, this is what you get."
I'm not. Oh, Deb. The one request, she's like, "I hope you know what you're doing." I said, "I don't care. You can put me in anything." I said, "The one thing." I said, I put on some weight over the holidays. I wear a large, at least a large. I said, best we go, if you went extra large, that'd be probably better. I said, just don't make me look fat.
I ordered you the correct size. My other one is on Amazon's the correct size, and that was the only one that I could find. I think I went to 4 different stores. Yesterday and today combined.
I appreciate
really
the effort.
tried.
I do appreciate the effort.
I tried so hard.
Well, thank you very much.
And I waited in line for an hour to get that too. So anyway, that
Perfect.
can be a good exchange of instead of me getting you this, I tried so hard to get you one. But
I do appreciate that is an awesome sweater. The workout thing, you're very generous when you say I work out, but I will take it. Okay, so now for Deb's sweater, if you can't see it, it is a merman Santa. He has the bikini top, he has got the full beard, and he's got the mermaid bottom, the jolly belly. And I actually found a different one that I liked even more, but it was from this weird website. In China, I'm like, everybody's like, this is not a legit website. Don't order anything. So luckily I found that one. And like I said, I just want to make this clear. You told me your size, and you said I could probably even go a size up. So that's what I did.
Thanks.
Because, I get it, but, All right.
When I got yours, I remember being on the phone with one of my friends. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm in a checkout line. They're like, for what? Are you Christmas shopping? And I'm like, no, I'm getting Josh an ugly sweater. And they're like, what? And so I'm explaining it. And I remember saying he's going to be so pissed because it's a medium. I tried so hard to look for a bigger size.
I look fat. Well, anyways.
So that's my story behind that.
Well, I love it. It's awesome.
But the one that's coming in, I don't know if you want me to just tell you or show you a picture of it, but it's supposed to be here next week now, and we could like exchange.
Send me a picture.
Okay.
Send me a picture. We'll post it.
Okay.
You guys will see it there.
Yeah.
Anyways,
It's better.
We're gonna save the rest of this for the episode. We will see you guys on the other side. Okay. Good. All right, give us a clap. Don't give us the clap. Just give us a clap.
That's a great start
how we're
for
gonna
our
start the
Christmas
podcast.
episode.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Or is it Happy Holidays? What are we allowed to say?
I
Well,
don't
we
know.
could say whatever we want because it's our show. I
It's
know
our
that.
podcast.
But
And I say Merry Christmas. I put I don't know. I put this in the same category and I've said this before, and I think this was one of my pet peeves before. Kind of like when you say, if you call a kid like, hey Tim, like, well, my name or like the parents are like, his name's Timothy. It's like, do you think Timothy cares? I don't think so. And I kind of feel like it's the same thing. Like, I don't know why that would be. I understand the religious stuff, but I don't understand why it would be so offensive. It's a wild thought.
This is random, but one of my coworkers was making a holiday Christmas, the cards you get with the, pictures of the family and then a newsletter.
Sure.
Like, this is the update. This is what our family has been up to.
Right.
She was looking for like just a border, like pictures to go on. And she's, bless her heart, she's older. So she doesn't she's never heard of Canva. So she's on her computer doing the old fashioned letter with the white backdrop on a Word doc and trying to search for Christmas images to like drop and paste on there. And I went on my computer and I went on Canva and we're trying to race. She's like, no, I don't need you. I don't need that.
Hold on. I'm dying.
Are you choking on your water because of what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or did it go down the wrong tube?
Wrong pipe.
Wrong pipe.
It's probably my sweater's so tight. The tubes are all messed up.
It's too tight. We'll talk about the sweater in a second.
Yeah,
but,
go ahead.
But she kept yelling like shit and like, all these, obscenities because she couldn't find, she wanted to put like a cross on there or
Sure.
I don't know. I don't even want to say baby Jesus, but just like a cross, something to that effect. And she's like, there's nothing. I can't find anything. She's like, does no one say Merry Christmas anymore? And even on Canva, when I put like, Christmas,
Interesting.
like it was just, holiday stuff, a tree, the lights, some decorations. And I can't even think of anything else, but there was literally no cross, no, I don't know, like the manger or whatever.
Which that's interesting on Canva. Because that's a place you create, so it's weird that they would limit you as far as the creation part of it,
people there's something is offensive to everyone, and I feel like everyone's going to be offended of something these days, and I don't know. I caught myself today at the end of class. Today was the last day of finals, so I'm done on break finally.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
cool.
It's the last day. Oh.
You guys have such a weird schedule compared to everybody else.
Yeah. My sister's school. Next week.
Next Friday.
Some people go next week. Yeah.
Right.
My sister's school is done today, but then when they pick up in January, they're not done until like the first or second week of January. It's weird.
That is strange.
And then they have a new start. It's weird. Anyway, at the end of class, we get some COVID kits to pass out, and they do this when kids go off on a holiday break. They did it.
Sorry.
They did
When
it for Thanksgiving.
You said COVID kit. I thought you said COVID kids passed out. I'm like, what does that mean? A couple COVID kids passed out.
A test kit.
Kids, gotcha. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm
COVID test kits. Anyway, to pass out. And, and that's at the end of class. It's literally, there's 5 minutes until the bell rings. So I'm so excited. So I have the bag and I'm literally saying like, here, gifts from Santa. Here you go. Merry Christmas. And I stop myself and I'm like, Merry whatever you celebrate. Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, whatever. And the kids are looking at me like I'm just crazy. They're just like some of them are laughing and some of them are like, oh my God. They're like, we don't care. And I'm like, I know you guys don't care, but if you go home and tell your family, they might care. And then I might get a phone call. So I just was just like, true. Merry whatever you celebrate, happy holiday. Like I just had to catch myself.
Sure.
And I'm like, why am I why? But that's just, I feel like that's just the world we live in right now.
Yeah. Well, I guess for me, I'm in a little bit of you're right. It is the world we live in, and I'm in a little bit of a different space because I'm not a teacher. So it sounds silly, but like the consequences for you misstepping in that way, and your profession is a little bit different versus me. Like, I mean, I'm on a podcast. Like, Merry Christmas. What do
Whatever.
you give us another one?
Don't listen if you don't like it.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, join everybody else that doesn't listen to it. Big deal. So it's not we're balling here. You know, very small numbers. That's like I told you when I went to Bella Vista and did their crew day. One kid's like, how many downloads do you guys get? That's not important.
That's not important.
Next question, please.
Yeah.
Let's skip that one because ask me something else.
Yeah, because they get more downloads on YouTube playing video games.
I know. I know.
These kids make money off of, like...
Does that make you feel old saying these kids?
I've been saying it for years, but yes.
Okay, go ahead.
No, these kids, their parents are my age. Anyway. These kids, they make... Huh?
Wait, would they? Yeah,
yes. Well, if they were young, okay. I guess. But apparently they all had kids when they were in high school, because all of them... How old your... Like, they'll reference a song, and I'm like, how old are your parents? And they're like, 36, and I'm just... Or 33. When they say an age younger than me, I just want to die. Sure. I just am like... Yeah. I just look at them and walk away, and they're like, what?
I went to the dentist a couple days ago, and our hygienist is a lady that we've known forever. She's always cleaned our teeth, right? Mm-hmm. And then the dentist, they've kind of had some different changes, but the dude that came in, that was working that day, he was 28. That was weird. Yeah, he was a 28-year-old dentist.
Oh my God.
Very energetic. He's like, da 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 da. I'm like, hey, you want to be on my podcast?
Oh my God.
He's like, he was talking a lot. I'm like, I don't even know what he said, but he was like, da 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 da. My first time meeting him, I'm like, oh yeah, this does feel like a 28-year-old dentist.
That's a good tactic to just kind of distract your clients when you're. I hate the dentist. I hate it so much.
I do too. I do too.
Just put me to sleep while you clean my teeth. Like, I'd rather have that.
I wish.
Just put me under.
I have such a horrible gag reflex. I know. Yeah, it's terrible. And so it makes those... I'm getting a little bit better, but it makes those trips very awkward sometimes.
Yeah.
I do find with the regular checkup, it's the x-rays.
Oh.
It feels like, are you just poking me in the back of my throat? That's what it feels like.
Is that when they stick the guards way back? They do. They put them pretty far back there.
It feels like it. In reality, I don't think it's that bad, but to me,
I'm see what you mean now.
Yeah.
Those
it's
are
horrible.
uncomfortable.
And I'm like,
I'd rather do that than get my teeth like drilled, though.
See, that's happened to me there too, because I had some cavities. Energy drinks, shout out to Monster, started bringing some cavities my way, and so at one point I didn't have it my entire life, right? I think it was 20. How old was I? 26, 27. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, it's like you have a cavity. There's another cavity. Mm-mm. It ended up being like 5 cavities. Yeah. And the energy drinks really got me. Now have I stopped? No. Well, I went to sugar free. So.
Sugar free. Okay, yeah, we'll see if the fake
better.
Sugar doesn't latch onto your.
So far it hasn't.
So far it hasn't.
Maybe
that's the key.
That might be the key. That was prescribed to me. Not prescribed. That was suggested by the hygienist.
Okay.
Like, if you're going to do it, which I suggest you don't,
okay.
I would do this. So she still even gave me like an opportunity to leave the energy drink world. But I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
They're good to me. I don't drink coffee. I don't do any of that stuff. Energy drinks are my issue.
Okay. But, yeah. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah,
Merry Christmas.
That's
how this whole thing started.
I don't even know how we got here, like per usual, but.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
Well, I started talking about my kids and how you can't say Merry Christmas and how I feel old. But yeah, I feel like you can't. I don't know. Like, obviously you can say whatever you want, but I feel like like in my work world setting, I have to be so careful. I have to be PC all the time, And it's funny because the 99% of the kids don't care. They don't care. And that's just the feedback I get from them. And they'll even mention, like, why do you guys have to? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, we just can't. I can't say that. And they're like, why? And it's the small percentage that cares, and then all of those parents. And then it's just,
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Well, and so earlier this week, at the beginning of the week, I went to go see Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock.
Oh, I saw that.
Which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Dave Chappelle is, in my eyes, the GOAT. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
And so... Yeah, even one of the guys that opened even made that joke because he's like, "Hey, are you guys gonna be offended tonight?" He's like, "You should probably leave because this is an adult comedy show."
Yeah, right.
And so like joking about that, but like obviously Chappelle's gotten us in some hot water for quite a few years now because of things he's said. But again, like it's just a weird thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've always loved comedy, so like there's not much that really offends me.
Yeah.
And definitely there's nothing that really offends me to the point where I would say, like, "How dare you?" Like it's just it's a weird thing to me. So it's bizarre when you encounter people like that. I imagine no one that listens to our podcast is like that because
You can't.
we haven't said the worst things, but there's been a couple of things where it's like, yeah, that's probably not appreciated by everybody.
It's okay.
Yeah,
I don't think we haven't crossed too many boundaries. Anyway.
No, I don't think so. The Halloween episode was probably the worst, and even that one I toned it back. I will say this: I didn't run this past you before we started, but I was listening a little bit to our episode that we did last year for Christmas, just because like we try not to do too much of the same stuff, even though we're gonna hey, what's your favorite movie, Christmas music, stuff like that. But I was trying to get an idea of what we already talked about, and we did do some Would You Rathers.
Okay.
So I looked up a couple of Would You Rathers, and it's like I'm like, well, you want it to be fun, and so I looked up Would You Rather for adults, Christmas version. Okay. And I'll tell you what, it went. Some of them like, this is not adult. This is silly. Like, would you say Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays? Like, that's stupid. It's like sugar cookies or like candy canes. I'm like, this is dumb. And then it's like, would you rather have sex with Santa or give a BJ to an elf? Like, oh, jackpot! There it is. There's the adult part of it. Like that's, and then it would go like a couple more. It was like, hey, do you like opening presents in the morning or at night? I'm like, what is going on here? And then another one, would you rather give a lap dance to your coworkers or all your coworkers, or have them give lap dances to you? It's like, oh, okay. They really sprinkled it in there. I don't know why they did that.
They just sprinkled it in there.
They really tricked you. I'm like, I was giving up at a certain point. Like, oh, here it is. And if you
the only adult version, they could just think of sexual ones, and that's what they meant by adult.
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, that's like, I will say, we don't need to talk about this too much, but I will say that the elf one and the Santa one really got in my head. I'm like, huh.
Jordan, it's like, yep.
By the way, my brother Jordan's here again, behind the camera, and so I'm like, anyways, I didn't come up with any would you rather, so like that's a little probably too much. Really, it came. I'll be honest. This is what my real thought process was. Like, Deb's a teacher. Otherwise, like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird. That one really stuck. Like, the image of that, because obviously, I have kids who are watching a lot of movies and cartoons with Santa and elves, and now it's like, you know what? That's stuck in my head. In fact,
that's stuck in my head.
I know. Well, if anybody watches the show Big Mouth, which I do, my brother does,
right.
They have a Christmas episode. I think last season. It gets wild in the workshop. Let's just say that, and that would probably give a little bit more like texture to that would you rather question.
I was gonna say some of my kids know that I podcast. Like some of them will randomly come to me. Hey, I heard you have a podcast. A couple of them.
There was one kid. I always forget his name. I always bring him up. He's always very kind.
Is it Derek?
I don't know. I don't know if it has his name on there. It might be like some random username, but
yeah, I think sorry, I just said his name. So I think he commented on one time. He's a cool kid.
He seems very nice.
He's very nice.
He's very complimentary to you. He's like, that's a really good point, Miss McCollum. Like, yeah, it was okay.
Yes, he and I have a good rapport.
Okay, good.
But some random kids in my class, they'll just be like, I heard you have a podcast, and I'm like, uh-huh. And then they're just like, what is it? And I'll just say the name, and then they never follow up. They never, like, I don't know that they check it out. I tell them we interview people because they're like, well, what do you talk about? I'm like, well, we are trying to connect people to business owners or just interesting people in the Sacramento area, or just kind of explain it. I think their eyes roll in the back of their head 3 seconds in of me talking about it. They're like, okay, boring. And then they just walk away. Like, it's nothing as soon as they realize it's not juicy things. Right. So I don't know that any of them listen to it or
now, if
care
you're interested
to
in the juicy stuff, it's called Not Here to Judge. That's the one where that's where you got the scoop, kids.
Only 8 episodes. 8? I forget how many I did.
I don't think it was 8.
There's 7.
6 maybe.
6. There's for sure at least 6.
At least 4.
At least 4.
She got 1 in. That's it. Yeah. No. Yeah, that would make sense. I like you've said before. I'm sure there is it piques their interest at first, and then it's kind of like.
And they realize there's nothing.
I hope you do a better job selling our podcast to adults. That was a rough sales pitch.
Well, they're more. I will tell you that way more adults ask a lot of questions about it. That is just, and I tell it.
I would hope so.
I tell it that way to my kids on purpose. I'm like, go away. You're not gonna.
Right, it makes sense.
You're not I tell them, I don't think you're gonna. It's not very interesting. It's not really. I don't know that it'll be not for them. It's not. That's what I tell them.
Yeah, no, I get
for
that.
For teenagers,
they're gonna pass it on to people, and it's like, Mr. McCollum's got this boring.
I don't want them. I don't think I'm that. They don't care. I just try to downsell it to them because they don't need to see me rubbing my unicorn horn on the Halloween episode.
That's true. You walk
try to steer them away. Try to steer them away from all my extracurriculars that I do.
Sure, that makes sense. Well. Okay. I'm not even sure what to say because I get it. But at the same time, so how did they find out about it?
I don't know.
You need to ask that. We need to get down to the source of where this is coming from.
The source.
And have you talked to that person
know.
instead of some kid that you're trying to steer away from the podcast?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, my Instagram used to be on public, and I put it on private recently.
I've noticed.
And so
I can't share anything.
It's on private. So yeah, some of the kids just got too nosy with
Well,
some
I
of
was
like
gonna
my
say-
personal life stuff, just a
gonna
little
say,
bit. So I'm like,
sure.
man, I gotta shut it down. So everything's private now. Nothing happened, nothing crazy, but
Yeah.
they were just getting a little too nosy. They started
Makes
getting bored
sense.
with their own drama. So
Yeah.
which is why as soon as I start talking about our podcast, they're like, oh, this is boring, and they walk away, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, good.
Right.
Just like, ugh.
I'm telling you, I hate to keep bringing this. Like, I don't want to keep bringing this back up, but you mentioned the bikini stuff a couple times, and there's some
See.
there's some people out there, Deb, some students. I've seen the
See?
teacher. Shout out to FX on Hulu.
What?
We're not gonna talk about. We don't want to talk about that, but
Is that a show? I haven't seen it.
it is a show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to watch it. Maybe because it says the teacher. I'm like, meh. And I just keep scrolling.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway.
It's an interesting show. It's an interesting case study, but it's not great. So we'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
What are your Christmas plans?
I am going home for a few days because I finally get to see my nephew, my sister, my other nieces and nephews, basically the whole fam.
Okay.
And then I'm going to Disneyland for a few days.
Oh, nice.
Super excited.
That'll be fun.
I'm going with Deb and a few of my childhood friends
Okay.
and their kids. So that's our excuse is like we're going for the kids. Kids are going, so we're going.
I don't even think you need an excuse for Disneyland.
I know.
Just do it. But hey, whatever makes you
do it.
feel good. How old are the
Right.
kids?
They
Like
are
25.
26. 12 and how old is it? 13, I think.
Okay, so that's a fun
Yeah.
age.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah.
fun
Oh
age.
yeah, so they're like
Yeah.
old, they're like middle school age.
Very cool.
So it's my childhood friend that I grew up with. And
Got it.
so that'll be fun.
Very cool.
So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so
It's
we're
always
going-
fun to go around that time. I always tell
Yeah.
people one of my favorite trips ever with our family. We went the week after Thanksgiving, so we just did independent study and went that Sunday after Thanksgiving and went the whole week to Disneyland. And it's awesome because everybody's already back in school.
yeah.
So our longest wait was maybe 10, 15 minutes. It was, and it's all decorated for Christmas. So if you love that Christmas
Right.
season, the atmosphere, it really is the best. Now I'm married to a teacher. Can't really do that anymore.
Can't do that.
I've told her before. I'm like, Rachel, what are you doing? Because she would love this like that whole setup. She would love it.
Yeah.
But she's
Yeah.
a teacher, so she can't really
Yeah.
take off at it.
Well, and like, so the days we're going are like a few days after Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's going to be packed. I think I got my ticket just in time because, so one of my other friends, childhood friends and her boyfriend, they were going to come with us, but they waited too long to buy tickets. And they looked at those dates and she's like, oh my God, I suck because I waited too long and I
That's a
can't.
bummer.
Well, and then the other friend is like, hang on, I'm checking every day and it's changing a little bit. I don't know if she's like, I think just keep checking. And so anyway, we're trying to get them in, but it's going to be packed. They have the Genie Pass, which is okay. You know how, sorry, when did you say you went last? That part, I blanked out on that part.
Last probably 6 or 7 years ago.
Okay. So
7 years ago?
Okay. So I went in February of this year, but,
Oh, cool.
They used to have a fast pass.
Yep.
They have, fast passes.
Sure.
Well, now you have to basically pay for a fast pass.
Right.
And I think it's Disney's way of recovering. I don't know if I feel like I've talked to you about this before. Maybe not.
About Disney?
Yeah. I feel like it's their
don't
way
think
of
so.
recovering from COVID, of being shut down because it's called a Genie Pass.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, when I went in February, you need it. Otherwise you're in line forever. And
Right.
so, but you have to pay. It's like, I think it's like $40 a day extra. So you basically pay for fast passes.
Okay.
But then big rides like the new Star Wars ride.
Right.
And a couple other rides. I can't remember the names. The Genie Pass doesn't work on that. You need a different pass, and it's an extra like $20 just for the ride itself.
That's crazy.
Just to like get in line faster, or you're in line for 2 hours. So it's like, wow, Disney, thanks. But
They're
so I
having
don't know
some
if it's a
problems, yeah.
COVID recovery money type thing, or if I don't know what it is. But I'm like, dude, these used to be free.
Yeah. Well, I think they're having a bunch of issues.
Yeah.
It's on a
So
lot of different fronts. Yeah.
So I'm like, but I mean, we got the Genie Pass because I'm like, we have to. I just went in fact, we have to, or else we're gonna get like 2 rides a day.
Yeah.
Like the lines are, and it's the holidays too.
Right.
So just a heads up, everyone, if you haven't been to Disneyland in a while.
Yeah, be prepared. Yeah, because I have heard that people are pretty upset about that. Obviously, 'cause it is a nice thing to have, the fast pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is going to be crowded. Hopefully, you guys are able to navigate. You guys do that because I feel like one of the things I've heard people do, and we started doing this, and it makes a huge difference. Is the single rider, right? So some of those rides you can do single rider. It's like, I'm going to sit with you. Like, let's meet at the end of the ride.
Yeah.
And you get through way quicker.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
We did that with my family in February. We were like, screw that. Bye. Like, let's go single ride. We don't need to. Yeah, exactly. We don't need to ride with you.
You're not talking on the ride anyways, right?
No.
So, yeah. What's your favorite ride?
Okay. So at California Adventure, my favorite ride, it used to be called the Tower of Terror, but they renamed it to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay.
I could ride all day long. I could hop on that and just, it's like a drop.
Yeah, no, it's I haven't been on it since they switched it, but I did the Tower of Terror thing.
Yeah.
And I'll say this: our youngest brother went there recently, and he's not a roller coaster thrill ride dude, and he was terrified the entire time. He's like, he kept telling me, he's like, I hope this ride shut down. It's like, you better pray a little harder, man.
Was he terrified before getting on the ride, like just the anticipation?
The whole thing, yeah.
Oh.
I think he said it wasn't horrible, but he's just not like a thrill ride person.
This makes your stomach drop to like your throat.
Yeah. So we're like, well, have fun, buddy. I don't think so. I don't think it was his favorite thing, right? No, we got a negative from Jordan. Yeah. So, but yeah, I love Disneyland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now the Disneyland park itself, it used to be Splash Mountain, but now that I just don't care for my clothes to get wet and walk around wet all day in the park anymore. Now that I'm an adult, when I was a kid, it was way more fun.
Yeah.
So that was my favorite ride. I mean, it still is in a way, but I think Space Mountain is my favorite now.
Space Mountain's fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Space Mountain's a lot of fun. I think at Disneyland, what's my favorite? I'm trying to think. I love that Buzz Lightyear, the one where you shoot.
Yeah. Well, and then the new Star Wars ride is pretty freaking cool.
Is it?
Just the all of it being in line. Part of the line is like part of like the experience. Like you go through a door and there's all these stormtroopers just staring at you. Like it's almost like it's just the experience of being in line. It looks real,
right? And
the experience of getting on the ride. Everything looks. Technology obviously has come a long way, but all the graphics look real. Everything looks really cool. So,
are you a Star Wars fan? Okay.
If you gave me a quiz on it, I probably wouldn't know much.
Okay.
but it was cool. So it's not like a thrill. So like, he may have liked that ride better because it's not a back and forth and roller coaster ride. It's just more of like a little bit of like, jolting around in like the little cart, but it's more of just looking at everything around you and like it looks like you're actually in war, like in one of the movies. It's
That's
really
pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's funny that now that you said that, I'm sure he went on that ride. Mm-hmm. I didn't ask him about it because I think I was too focused on like, hey man, did you survive the Tower of Terror? So I don't think I was really.
Well, that wasn't back then. 6-7 years ago, you said?
No, this is this past year.
Oh, this past year.
Me,
okay.
Mine was 6 or 7 years ago.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Him was.
That's what you said, yeah.
Maybe 6 or 7 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. Okay.
So,
you'll have to ask him if he went on the Star Wars ride.
I'll ask him.
That's where I paid the extra $20 to get in line fast for that ride.
Kind of makes sense.
I was like, I'm not waiting 3 hours behind all these people.
and people are crazy. I remember. So the last time I went. So I don't know what it was. The last time I went, there were a lot of motorized wheelchairs, not wheelchairs, but like those, like what are they called? Like where larger people sit on them. You know what I mean? And they can't navigate the park as well. Yeah. And so there was a ton of those. And I remember this one family. They like it was a dad, his 2 sons, and with the wife, and they all like were wearing like the same like workout gear. And they kept seeing, like, we were in line with them, and every time they saw one of these people pass by, and it's like, like there was just such like fitness disgust by these people, but it was like they made it audible every time. I was like, I was starting to get annoyed. I was like, hey, we get it. I don't need to hear like, another fat person. Like, okay, man. Like he's like, both the kids were like, oh, this is so gross.
Oh my god.
It was tough. It was a long line too. It's like, me and Rachel are like, we're gonna have to listen to this for a very long time.
I know. That's the only thing about these theme parks and waiting in line. Yeah. And if you're next to some people, you're like, and it can just get annoying, and some of the people that are around you anyway.
It can be, yeah, for sure.
That's why, for me, I need to go to California Adventure and slam a beer, and then keep going.
There you go.
And then I'm just like, great, no one's annoying me now.
Like everybody's my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we went to this was a few years ago. We went to Six Flags in Vallejo, and we took one of our relatives from Japan. She wanted to go, so I was like, okay, we'll go. And I think it was a Sunday when we went. But for some reason, Six Flags decided to do 4 or 5 promos on the same day. And yeah, it was horrible.
Oh, no.
We were there basically from open to close, and we did 4 rides. 4 rides.
Why?
I don't know why they did it, but it was like they did some kind of, it wasn't even Veterans Day weekend, but they did some kind of veterans promo. They did like bring a friend for free. They did all these things where it just brought like a ton of people. The lines were packed. Even for food, you had to wait in line. Like I think they were waiting in line for like 45 minutes for food.
Oh my God.
And then the rides were obviously worse. It was wild.
I wonder if they needed to fill like a quota for the day.
I don't know. They had a lot of upset people though. You could just tell the vibe of the park was people were very upset and very angry.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's interesting. You know what? Before I forget, I wanted to bring something up to you.
Oh no.
Yep. Because on this podcast, it's been well established that
Anytime you say that.
our friend Deb here is not great at gifts. So
Oh my God, this year my friends and family texted me, not at the same time, but on different days. They're like, no gifts this year. I said,
just to you?
What? No.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Yeah. Like they probably
said,
had meetings.
no,
like
it
a
was
Zoom
a group
call. It's
text.
like,
No, it was
let's
a group
just let
text.
her off the hook because we know this puts a
My
lot of stress on her.
siblings, like my step siblings, everyone were in a group text, and they're like, "Hey, how about no gifts this year?" And I was like, I almost jumped at it, and I was like, "Is that like, what do I say?" And I just waited, and I waited for someone else to give a thumbs up, and I said, "Yep, great, sounds good, thumbs up." No
So
gifts.
what are you gonna do with all that crap in your closet?
I started giving it away already for White Elephant gifts. I've already been to like 2 White Elephant parties.
See that? Okay. That's the problem with the gift. Okay, I know I've talked about this before. That's the problem with your gift-giving closet situation is that your gift in the closet can work for a White Elephant gift or for something that you tell people that you put a lot of thought into. That's a wild thought. Like it should not be able to work in both worlds.
You know? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's not a secret. I tell I have I have someone at work who will ask me for gift ideas, and every time I'm like, we've had this conversation. I am not the person
They're really
to
asking for
ask
something out of your closet.
for gift ideas. I am just not. Every once in a while, I'll have a wild hair and I will give a good gift. I don't know.
What's the best
stats.
gift that you've given? You feel. Because we don't know if it was felt on the other side.
You know what? Not so much a gift, but something I made. So I used to bake, and I used to make cookies and stuff and blah, blah, blah. So this was, so I'm talking like 12, 13 years ago. So that's how sad this is. I just thought I was just proud of myself, and it probably didn't look great. But back then, when I was dating my ex-husband, if you could follow that, for his birthday, and he loved guitars, like electric guitars.
Okay.
And he liked playing what was that guitar game?
The
Guitar
air
Hero?
That'd be funny. It's just
What?
you were about to say he likes to play the air guitar. I can just I don't know this dude. He's just like going around your guys' house, just like like, oh, that's a cheap gift. This does not count, Deb. You can't give a man an air guitar.
Air guitar.
Okay,
Here
go
you
ahead.
go. Air guitar. Well, so I found it.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, he loved.
Hero,
Yeah, whatever. And so I found a cake mold that was like an electric guitar. And so I did the cake from scratch. I baked it, blah, blah, blah. And then when the mold came out, I'm like, it looks great. And there was like a guide for how to decorate it exactly like to make it look like a guitar.
Sure.
And it came out awesome. I still wish I had to this day I'm like proud of myself. And like he was super excited. So anyway, that's like the most thought I've put into I think a gift before in terms of like how long it took me to do and how nice it looked. And so I don't know if that's really sad, but like that's the only thing I can think of that.
No, that's pretty good. That's not what I was expecting.
I don't know. I just people's reactions when I give them things, like the best reactions are when I give them baked goods.
Sure.
So like I've made cookies, and then that's been like the best thing.
It's probably the safest way to do it. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying, like with gifts though, like I know I'm horrible. I just don't. I'll just give them, I don't know.
You mentioned
cards.
this last time too. So you mentioned that too.
Mm-mm.
So it's like
Venmo,
the same episode.
I'll just give them
mentioned
some
that too.
cash.
No,
Here you go. Happy birthday.
So, but what is it about the gift giving? Is it like
I'm not very. I just don't know that I'm creative. I just don't know that I
Like, do you think too much about it? Like, you just go
maybe.
back and forth, like, they're going to like this. No, they won't.
But I've never been ever, and I don't know if I'm just missing something in my brain or if I'm just, it can't just be me. I'm like,
No, 100%.
right. I'm just like, I don't know. And I have some friends who are like awesome at gift giving, and I'm like, how do I get this? You need to help. So I ask them for help about gift giving, and they have these great ideas
It's like,
about for
can you
other.
tell me what to get you?
Yeah. What should I get you?
Yeah.
So yeah, Deb is good at gift giving.
Okay.
My friend Kelly
I can
is
see that.
awesome. Good at
I don't
they're
know,
just.
I don't know Kelly, but
I don't know. I just don't know what it is. That's not my strength at all.
interesting. Well,
So-
at least you recognize it, because it would be rough if you didn't know that about yourself.
I know.
And you were as hyped every time. It's like, I put so much time and effort. And they're like, oh, okay. Thank you.
I joked kind of joke, kind of not joking, to my friends this year that their Christmas gift from me this year is it's a renewal of my friendship.
Oh, no, that's what I have right here. I have this crap on my phone. Okay, dear friend, she sent this to me.
Did I send it to you?
This is like early in the morning when I got this.
I did send it to you.
Dear friends, your Christmas gift this year, ... is me. That's right. Another year of friendship. Your membership has been renewed. Okay. I had to say, as soon as I got this, I put this in my note for the Christmas episode, because I'm like, I didn't want this. And it's also like one of those situations where you have like a streaming service and you have your credit card on file and you tell yourself, I need to cancel this because I don't have any use for this at all. It just costs me more and more money every single year. Make sure you cancel it, and then you get that thing on your bill, on your phone saying, hey, you just got charged this much. I'm like, oh, no.
That's what it's like to be my friend.
That's what it was like in that notification, that DM. I'm like, oh, I didn't cancel in time. You know, people across the world were like, oh, no. Got another year of Deb.
Well, yeah, I sent that to you, to my friends, and they literally were like, okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. That was not the reaction I got, or I gave. I'm like, okay.
Some of them said no. Sent back. They're like,
It's
nope.
like, too late.
I do not accept this gift.
The charge has already been placed on your credit card. Yeah, no, it was very funny. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Insane.
And it's a very convenient gift for Deb to give because like we've talked about multiple times, you're not great at gift giving.
It's horrible at gift giving. I'm more so better at quality time. Like I'd rather take my friends to like a winery and like treat them to like wine tasting
Gotcha.
and like
That makes more sense.
food. That is my gift giving.
Okay, I was like, if you're talking about like, I'm really good at just giving quality time to people, I'm like, that's a bold thing to say. You're like, people love being around me. I don't know what it is. It's the best gift I could possibly give. But if you're saying, yeah, you take them to a winery or a bar, restaurant, whatever, that makes sense.
I think that's what I.
You podcast here with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes. That's become a thing now. I hope you know that. People are like, hey, is Debbie gonna be there? Probably not.
Know.
Or it's like,
we'll
hey.
see.
Yeah, people just know now.
They just are. It's like a surprise. Like they won't find out until they hop on. They're like,
yeah,
oh, she's here. She's not
and
here. Okay.
We're starting to get into that weird area where it's not even a surprise anymore. There's more surprises if you're there. That's what's happened.
It's their gift that I'm there.
Again, but that's like one of those like cheap gifts you get at like as you're leaving like a concert or something.
See, that's exactly, that fits me. That's what I would do too.
That's it.
Cheap gifts.
This changes a lot about those self-worth episodes we've done in the past. It's like, oh shit,
It's not a bad thing.
It kind of sounds like it. I'm a cheap gift. My friendship's a cheap gift. All right.
1 year renewal. You're welcome.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
So, and I don't know if this renewal, I'll say this. I was honored that I was considered your friend.
I mean, co-friend.
Didn't say that. So that would have been a discounted membership. It's like co-friends down here, real friendship. So sorry.
Well, you're my friend and you're a good gift giver because you got me this perfect Santa mermaid
It's pretty cool.
sweater. It's not even an ugly sweater. It's like cute, but it's like the theme of the ugly sweater.
Sure.
I like it.
Yeah, if you like mermaids, then it's great. If you don't, then it's kind of
This
ugly.
is like perfect. I know, right? If someone didn't, they think it's ugly, but I think it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Santa's little belly.
Now you couldn't wear that to school, right? That would get you in trouble, right?
You know what?
Maybe not.
I don't know. It's very questionable. It's okay. My admin's not around me a lot, so it's fine. Probably be okay.
It's like, hide the sweater. Admin's
Hide it.
coming.
I go like this.
Yeah, there you go.
And just cover it. There's belly showing. No, there's no. No, this is fine because girls have their bellies out all the time
Sure.
at our school. So this doesn't even violate dress code. So
Okay,
there you go. So I could totally wear this at work.
I thought it was perfect. Like I told you last week, 2 weeks ago when we recorded,
Yeah.
I said, hey, do you want to do this swap? And you're like, yeah. I said, perfect. Click on Amazon. I had it in the cart.
had it
to
ready.
go. I was ready to go. right away. So, and this one's awesome.
Okay, so
Like I said this. If you guys didn't watch the beginning of the podcast, I'm not gonna lie. When I first opened it, I saw where he was positioned on the cookie, and I did not know what she had gotten me.
okay,
He's making love to a chocolate chip cookie.
so
But that's not the case. No, like Jordan said, the elf, I'm not sure what he's doing. And it has bells.
it does have bells. Okay, so if you're listening and not watching, my sweater is like has a mermaid Santa, basically, like literally Santa with the seashells over his boobies,
Man boobs.
and his belly's out and everything, his
Yep.
jolly belly, and he's a mermaid.
Yep.
So that's like perfect. He's got his Santa hat on. And then Josh, the one I got, hold on, I'll tell you what I don't know if I'm going to tell him what the original one was. I'll just
No, you got
okay.
I'm
I'm gonna show him a picture of what the
Yeah.
original one was, and then we'll post it. But this one I had to find last minute because the one I ordered didn't get here in time. I was very irritated, and so I went scouring, and that was one. I actually like it. I wish it was a large for you because you said you didn't want a medium, so don't kill me. I'm sorry.
No, I won't kill you, but I know this was a setup from the
But-
very beginning.
So the way this looks like an authentic ugly sweater because
It does.
It's got a belt. Yeah. Anyway, it has Santa and is that a skirt? Like, what is he wearing? Is that a skirt or it's shorts?
Shorts.
And very short shorts.
Very
His
short
legs
shorts.
are moderately jacked. His arms look jacked.
Yep.
His beard is short, so like it's trimmed, right? So this is
He's a hot Santa.
this is a hot Santa apparently, and the North Pole says workout shop, and
Yep.
he's doing a tire flip, but it's like a cookie. The cookie's the tire, so it's giant. So, but directly behind him
Is this little
is
twink?
his elf. It looks like an elf, and he's
We don't know what's-
flipping.
sorry.
I don't know.
Please
I don't
touch
know.
my hand. Thank you.
I don't know what he's flipping, but it's like he's flipping it right behind Santa.
We have some guesses what he's
So
flipping.
it's like very awkwardly positioned. And as soon as Josh opened the sweater, he just didn't know what Santa was touching or doing, and it didn't look,
I
quite
know.
right.
We weren't sure it was like a Santa circle jerk.
Well, when I first glanced at it too in the store, I had to do a double take. I'm like, what is happening here? And I'm
Okay,
like,
so you thought the same thing.
I did too, and I was like, oh, they're flipping tight. Like, okay, I get it, but I'm like, dude, that just doesn't look right at first. So.
But then I opened it. I'm like, we're all good. I'm like, all right.
And then I was like, okay, this is perfect.
This is awesome.
almost perfect.
Yeah, it is nice. I was telling Jordan, I feel like I have to wear my shirt underneath because this texture feels weird on my skin.
Oh, okay.
So
it's because it's like the roughly, like, how do you describe that? I don't know.
I don't know. It's like you
Yeah,
said, it's
like
like a
the
true authentic like woolly sweater.
Yeah.
That was the one I originally saw was the same.
Okay.
For you.
Yeah.
But like I said, it was from some Chinese company. And
Oh,
they're
yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
I looked to see like, is this legit? And they're like, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Do not send them
Don't
your money
do it.
because you will not get the sweater that you ordered, and you will not. It will probably not even be a sweater. So
Yeah, this is better.
I think so. So
Yeah.
that was my one. Like I kind
We'll
of
take
I
this.
tried to look a little bit harder. So I'm like, there's got to be an actual
Yeah.
ugly sweater.
I am gonna wear
Rachel's
this.
actually like she might actually like that.
I'm gonna wear this for home, like to my family.
Hey, good. Enjoy.
I'm wearing this until Christmas. I hope you know, because I don't have any ugly sweaters like
I
at
don't
all. I
either.
don't have any Christmas sweaters, shirts. I don't think I do.
I don't
And
either.
So,
Because like I said, I don't invest in it because
yeah.
the texture feels weird to me.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what it is.
I'm keeping it.
All right. Good.
This is perfect.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. And she's like, well, just take off the shirt underneath. I can't, Deb, because if I do, when I stand up, you'll see my belly.
Short.
So I have a longer shirt underneath.
It was, and I was telling Josh, it was that or another one I found in a different store, but clearly for women, scoop neck,
Yeah.
like very girly. I'm like, I don't think he'll think this is funny. I will think it's hilarious. But
Okay. Well, hold on.
let's not. This is better because it's not as like the other one was clearly for women. So
First of all, I would have found it funny.
scoop neck.
Yeah.
I almost
I
got
would've-
it.
yeah.
And it had more
This
bells.
is actually less funny
It
'cause you're
had
trying to
way
make me look
more
fat.
bells on it. Well, man, I should have got that one.
I would have rather looked like a woman.
And it came with something to put on your head, like
Oh, really?
a bit like a headband thing.
Oh, that was clearly for a woman. Yeah. Which would have looked ridiculous because I have no hair. So
I'm glad you have these Santa hats though for us. It's very
yeah, thank you.
festive.
I came prepared. Like I
Yeah.
said, I did put this in a box.
Yes.
Deb's sweater and hers was in her backpack
I
underneath
feel like-
her
I
wallet.
feel like sometimes in this co-host relationship, I'm the guy and you're the girl, in a way of like, because sometimes girls are a little more organized,
Sure.
and a little more like, I guess stereotypically, I don't know, and I don't know, dudes are usually, I don't know.
That's interesting because I feel like a lot of times I'm both the guy and the girl because I do everything. So that's very generous of you to give even yourself the guy title. I see what you're saying, but I think you have a higher opinion of yourself than I do. That's
I
okay
just
though.
kind of show up.
Sometimes.
It's gonna show up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, this is like there's a better example of what this is.
Oh,
Well, I've said abusive before. I've said that.
Oh, okay. That could be a guy or a girl, though.
Yeah, no, 100%.
It's like
I'm not-
a house cat.
Yes.
See it every other day.
She's she's
I'm
out.
I'm not the house cat. I'm the feral
Feral cat.
cat.
She's just out in the streets.
I pop in when I want.
Yeah,
When I
yeah.
need a warm place to stay.
Like we feed her every once
When
in a
I
while.
need
It's
some
like,
food.
that's what you tell people too. Like people are like, "Hey, is that your cat?" I mean, I guess. Like it's around our house. You can call it ours. It doesn't have a tag. You know.
I won't disagree with that. I am like a feral cat.
Yeah, it would probably pass us on the street and not say anything or acknowledge us. Like if it wasn't for this and I saw you on the street, I can see you just going right past, not even acknowledging my
She's also
existence.
two-timing you. So she's going to Crystal Rose's house. And over there.
Yeah. She really is double dipping.
Just
She is. You're right.
navigating.
She's double dipping. It's like drinking some milk and food at the Crystal's house and then coming over to ours.
Seeing
and,
what she's got to offer.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
I come over here.
Yep. That's
Although
what it is.
I haven't made it. She's moved, so I haven't made it over to her in a while. She's taking a break from her podcast.
Is that your fault?
I hope not. Maybe.
She's
No.
posted some.
Well,
I'm just saying, yeah.
No, at one point she texted me and she's like, we need to do another episode. I said, great. And then she and I didn't talk for like 2 or 3 weeks. And then she texted me about something else. And,
How's it feel?
And then she's fine. How does it feel? Karma.
Good for you, Crystal.
Karma's a bitch.
Yeah.
And then finally she's like, I'm actually just taking a break. And then her latest episode she released, she talked about taking a break. And
Gotcha.
I was like, I respect it. I'm here whenever.
You respect it because you do it all the time.
I do it all the time because I get it. I do it too.
Like, let me give it
I'm taking a break from not here to judge.
Is that what we're calling it? Are you still
Yeah.
calling it? Are you still calling it a break?
I mean, yeah, it'll be
we have
breaks
different-
can last however long.
I think we have a different definition of what that means. But I think, when's the last time? Okay, be honest. When's the last time you thought about recording an episode of Not Here to Judge?
Thought about? You know what? I will say, like maybe twice a month. I think of things that I'd want to record or talk about or interview this person.
Okay.
And then just the sun rises the next day and just the day goes on.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. That was a nice way of saying you don't really think about that much. But I've said it before. Am I on the short list of guys to be on the show?
What? Are you what?
On the short, am I on the short list of guys to be
Oh.
a guest on your show?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Why?
I don't think I'm being considered at all.
No, well, because you said you would. I would like to have both of you on if I ever do it again,
I don't know
because
if
you
you
guys
want-
have all these questions and you guys have Taco Bell questions for Nicole.
I don't know if you want that.
That would be.
I don't know if Nicole wants that.
This is why I don't want my kids knowing that I do this stuff because I don't know how juicy it's gonna get.
But you weren't involved in the Taco Bell story,
Right.
were you?
No, I wasn't. So
It's
yeah,
like someone should
there
help
you go.
Nicole. She's just in the other room.
Someone should help her.
It's like I can hear what's going on, but I'm not going to intervene. I'm not getting shot at.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
No, you guys would definitely be. Yeah, because you're the only ones who have asked to be on it. So of course.
Okay, well, you could have left that part out. My gosh. I don't know why. Sometimes I feel like Deb tries to hurt my feelings. It could have just been like, absolutely. I would love to have you on my podcast. Like, you've had me on your separate podcast. You invited me into this podcasting world. And I just want to say, like, again, I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. Like, I'm kind of like a hero to you because title boxing, you got involved with because we had Blake on the podcast.
I'm
I don't think
obsessed
were you
with
aware of title
boxing.
before that?
No.
Boom. You're welcome.
I know
And then-
these things. And you hooked me up with Crystal. Well, I was following Crystal.
Because you had a podcast.
And you. I think I don't know if I don't know if I feel like I even asked you and you said, yeah, ask her. Or maybe I just asked her.
That
So
sounds
here, I'm
like-
giving you credit. Like you encouraged me. So.
I know. I just like to hear it sometimes. It's nice.
So yeah,
Just like a thank you
met
every
Crystal.
once in a while.
I started doing boxing. What else? I feel like I've met other people
I think so.
through. Yeah.
You are welcome.
Has it been 4 years? I always forget.
Now that being said, I will say now your students bug you about podcasting. So that I'll take credit for that as well. It's not great. Like you don't want your students to constantly ask you about stuff like, hey, I heard this about your life. Like, oh, private. Make your
private.
yeah. It would have been nice. I'll say this. It would have been nice if you would have at least let me know that you switched your account.
Does it matter for you?
It does. Like when
Oh.
you post or when you tag us in something, I'm trying to share it. Like, what happened? Why can't I share her
Oh,
stuff?
is that why?
Yeah.
Even if we're friends, though.
Yeah. Sometimes your stuff I can't
Oh,
share.
okay. Is it because you're open? Your page is open and not private? Oh.
Maybe. I mean, the podcast. All I'm saying is that it really threw me for a second. I'm like, wait, what happened? Why can't I do this anymore? I was like looking stuff up on like.
Did you figure?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I
You
did.
were able
I
to figure it out. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I just I.
So that's okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll be okay. Let me just tell you what happened because it's
get ready, students.
No.
She's dropping some juicy details.
Here's what happened, and this is why. And I even cleared everything on TikTok. I put all of my TikToks that I made on my vacations just on like I can see only because I don't want to delete, and then they're not deleted, so there's nothing on my page.
Okay.
And then I put my Instagram on private, and it didn't take anything off that page. So one of the TikToks that I made when I was on a cruise this past summer with friends, and we all had like these fun T-shirts, blah blah blah, and it like goes from one person to the next, and
you talked about that before.
Yeah, and so the opening is Deb, because she went on that cruise with me, and she's a teacher at my school, and I had her pose, so she's laying on the what is that chair, the lounge chair or whatever by the pool, and I think she has a beer in her hand because her shirt said if drunk and asleep, like send help, because our shirt said something. Mine said drunk and lost, fitting, send help. And anyway, and so I like zoomed out, whatever. And so she's like asleep. And then there was another TikTok that I made when we were in Europe, and we were doing the Beyonce challenge. And so we were all squatting down, and there was one of them, and Deb was always the one in the background, like doing this while we squatted down. And on one of the takes, we were, I think we were in Switzerland, but we were on like the boat that we were on. We were like on stairs, and she's smoking a cigar, and so she's seen like blowing cigar smoke out. So a kid at our school I don't know if it's a kid that was out to get her. Mind you, nothing happened to her.
Sure.
No one's in trouble.
Sure.
It's stupid. It was more so Deb was just more so irritated, and I felt so bad because it was off my account. She's not mad at me. I thought she was mad at me. I was like, I'm so sorry, and that's why I took everything off. I was like, no, we're not doing this ever. We're not going through this again.
Sure.
Because some kids will have vendettas against them if we try to hold them to rules and they don't like it. Like, of course,
doesn't
there's
take much.
gonna be right. They're teenagers. So some kid made sent something around, and it had they took a screenshot of Deb just laying there with her beer like this. Okay, it went from that one to zoomed in on her face blowing out a cigar, so like kind of making it seem like she's smoking a blunt or something.
Sure.
Right? And then it said so that was that, and that went around. Literally nobody cared though. Students that liked her went up to her and said, "Miss, this is going around." And she looked at it and like, and some people, and even some dumb kids were like giving her dabs like, "Oh, you smoke weed?" And she's like, "That's not marijuana. That's a cigar. That's a cigar."
Yeah.
And so
there's gonna be a certain point of the story where this happens.
And so anyway, so she just like as a precaution went to one of our VPs and said, "Look, I'm just letting you know that this is going around to our kids." And she looked at it, and her VP's like, "So?" She's like, "You're an adult. Did that happen at school?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "Was it during contract hours?" She's like, "No." And she's like, "This is a cigar." She's like, "Then you're fine." Yeah, in a different country over the summer. Yeah. So anyway, so that's what happened, and it was just more so. I think she was just more so annoyed.
Sure.
Literally nothing happened with that. Yeah. So then I was like, "Nope, we're not doing this." So that's why everything's on private now. Which is a bummer because I do like to have my page open so that, just for the podcast and just and even on TikTok. So everything is off now. So I felt so bad. I was like, "I'm sorry. Don't be mad at me."
That makes sense.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was, that's why.
There you go.
This is why I try to have my kids steer clear of anything I'm doing. I'm like, nah, that's boring. Like, I don't do, I just, I just go home at night and sit down, and that's all I do. Like, my life is very boring. They don't believe me, I'm sure, but they try to get as much information out of me as possible.
That makes sense.
But it's not, and then I went through my Instagram and like unfollowed, like I just cleaned it up a little bit.
Sure.
So
did you unfollow me?
No, I don't think so.
Got her. I knew it. I knew it.
So anyway, so that's the story. Yeah.
All right.
Why everything's on private. So sorry.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I got.
No, I don't care. But it did throw me for a second. I'm like, wait a minute. I used to be able to share this here. Not anymore. Nope. I don't really care because it's the same thing. We post the same. We share the same thing and just use a different
But
emoji.
But you figured out how to repost something that I'm doing now, right? If I tag you,
I think so.
can you? Okay.
Yeah, like I said, I don't know what the details are. There's just sometimes I can, sometimes I can't.
Oh, that's
I
interesting.
figured it was because of that. So yeah, obviously I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I figured it was something like that.
These kids did.
Yeah.
Stupid kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. But literally every other, it was funny because some kids are like, we don't care. Like
Sure.
literally nobody cared. But some kid was trying, like some kids were like, so this kid's trying to get her fired and it's not going to work. This is stupid. And I was like, yeah, no shit. It's not going to work. She's not doing anything illegal in these pictures.
Right.
So
Right.
anyway, so yeah, there's the drama with that.
That was very exciting.
For a week, it was exciting.
Yeah, it sounded like a Netflix documentary.
It's
So it sounded like a
very
trailer for
detailed.
that. Yeah. It's like that she was laying there. with
some teacher drama.
a cigar. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
That's not fun. But you're almost. Oh, you are done.
I'm done.
You have freedom right now.
I'm freak.
Do you
free.
like looking at Christmas lights?
Yeah, I do. I like the Fab 40s. Do you go to the Fab 40s?
Not very often. I have gone, but just
cool.
we kind of stick more to like Dovewood.
Okay.
Out in Orangeville. There's a place up in Rockland, Pebble Creek. They do a
Okay.
really nice job.
Nice.
Yeah, and there's some other places. There's a couple places we go to that are one house up the hill a little ways. It's just
Okay.
one house, but it's worth making a drive because they do such a
Nice.
ridiculous.
Do they do
setup.
like the music with
all
the
that
lights?
stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder how much their electric bill is.
I've heard from some people that are neighbors or friends with people that live in those
Uh-huh.
types of areas that it's insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is a bummer. I always wondered if they got some kind of break.
Right.
Because I feel like they're doing a community. They're doing something that benefits the community. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
yeah.
apparently not. It's like now they still slapped us in the face with this massive bill. But I've been watching the Christmas light fight on TV. Have you ever seen that show?
No, but I think I know what you're talking about.
It's
I
basically
think I've heard of it.
yeah, it's on ABC. It's like each episode they do like 4 or 5 houses and they go around and these people like all across the U.S.
Yeah.
and they just kind of show off what they do. Some of these people, it makes me feel like I don't know why I put up any Christmas lights. It's like mine's nothing crazy, but these people are insane. It's like they started before like Halloween. I mean,
It's
just
like an art.
it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. It's pretty wild, and good for them. I just don't understand how they have all that time to do it.
Yeah. It's just something that they dedicate one time a year to.
I guess so.
I guess. Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, no, I agree because you know how long it took me to string lights around my balcony? Just like the top part. Just stringing it way too long. It looks cute.
Like an hour?
Maybe, I don't know, like 40 minutes.
It's a long time.
Just to do one set.
What's strand?
Just to like keep, because it's just, I don't hang them. I just like coil them. Anyway,
Right. I'm sure it looks lovely.
It looks cute, but it took way too long. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine. I'm bitching about that, and then I can't imagine people like spending literally like a few days like putting.
And some
all
people
their
it's like a
stuff
whole
up.
month. I mean, it's really wild.
See, I don't even know. See, I don't even.
Like yeah, we started before. Like I said, I mean, some people are like Halloween hits,
Yeah.
and they start going. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So I like looking at them, but I
Nice.
don't think I would ever want to put that much effort into it. But again,
Yeah.
it's like the whole passion thing, right? Like if you're passionate about it, it makes sense. Like some
Yeah.
people would be like, why would you podcast
Well,
every single week?
Yeah. Well, maybe
Yeah.
it's like maybe for them it could be like a family time, or this is something that is like, it's like, a hobby,
Yeah.
like this maybe. So just different interests.
Right. And I'm not here to judge, but
Plug.
it is. I will say this. It is interesting because some of the people that you see on the show, like you can tell they're like a little bit off. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, this is like you're taking this to
their
a different.
thing.
This is their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can
Yeah.
imagine that they would run it like a prison warden if someone if they had a family over to help and someone put the wrong bulb in the wrong spot or they didn't.
So it's like intense.
What are
boot
you
camp.
doing? Like I just feel
Mess
like
the whole thing up.
I kind of feel like that. You get that sense from some people. I'm like, oh, this would not be a fun process. Like this does not seem like a fun family to be a part of.
It's like boot camp.
Also,
Yeah. It could be it's a reality show. You said, right?
pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like they can each family can win like $50,000, I think.
Wow.
If they have the best.
See, there's a reason to do it.
Yeah.
You can win money.
You could win money, but like I said,
It'll pay for all the electric bills. That you
Just for that
spend,
1 year.
Just for the 1 year.
You got to win it the next year. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting show.
Yeah.
It's fun. Like I said, it's fun to watch. We watch it with our kids, and they enjoy seeing all the crazy lights.
Nice.
But
Yeah.
it just makes me think like this is a different level
Yeah.
that I'm not.
Yeah.
I would not be prepared for.
So it's more fun to watch than to
Yeah.
actually try.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to bring up too, because we talked about this last time, and I don't know if since we've talked about this, you probably haven't thought about this again, but maybe you've seen it. We were talking about mistletoe.
Okay.
I still have not seen mistletoe in real life. Like I've never seen mistletoe hanging from someone's doorway or anything like that. Have you seen this?
I feel okay. So on what day was it? On Tuesday. Oh, that's why, because I was with Nicole doing stuff.
Yeah.
On Tuesday.
Happy birthday, happy belated birthday, Nicole.
Nicole. We did an escape room.
Okay.
And I feel like their Christmas tree in like the original, I feel like there was a mistletoe on like the top. But I'm saying that because I remember we were taking a picture of this. There's a group of us, and there was a couple there. Wife and husband, and we told them to kiss, and Nicole's like, "There's a mistletoe kiss." Now I wasn't like quite paying attention, so I think I remember seeing it, and I don't know if I'm saying that because I heard her say there's a mistletoe. So you were still in the last room. I was no. We made it within like 1 second to spare. It was really sad. We struggled. It was
the last one that I did. We didn't make it out.
Oh really?
Yeah.
They may have even been generous and given us way too many clues, way too many, and probably didn't add time to the clock. And I think they let us out even a few seconds. Like I don't know, but they let us hit the button. They said we got out, but it was rough. It was the
Christmas season. They're just feeling generous.
Right. But I think that's where I saw mistletoe. And I don't know if I'm just like, oh, I've seen it because I've seen it in movies, but
that's what I'm saying. Like we talked about this last time. Like I've seen it in movies.
I'm looking in here now.
No, it's not, that would be a problem in here. So that would be a problem in here. They would not put that. Shout out to the ACE office for letting us use your spot again. Yeah. But yeah, that would probably create some issues if they had mistletoe hanging in here. So that would be funny though for the escape room, right?
Yeah.
If it's like that's the last thing to escape, you just have someone who's like, it's like just some ogre-looking dude. It's like, you want to get out?
You want to get out?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Just take the L on that one, right?
Just take the L.
Okay.
Just don't do it.
I would love to know it.
Would you do it, Jordan?
Because he described like a Harvey Weinstein character.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
I'm
You want this role?
I'm all set.
Come into my hotel room. I don't know if he talks like that. That's how I see it, though.
Ugh.
That's gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've seen mistletoe. I don't know.
But
you
I was trying to think. No. I've
Okay.
never seen it. No, I've never seen it.
My alternate job.
Yes, your alternate job. You still enjoying that?
Yeah, it's cool. I'm taking a few weeks off, but it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, be honest when I ask you this. Do you feel like you post more of their stuff coming up than for our own podcast?
No. Collectively, no.
It's very dicey. Very dicey.
They'll tag me
so
often.
Did they ask you to post it?
They did. They sent, I'm sure
That's my
sent
mistake.
it. They sent it like a group Instagram to like people who work there. Like, hey, if we tag you guys in it, they didn't say we have to post, obviously, but they said we would greatly just, if you want to repost, great. If not, don't worry. But it's greatly appreciated. So
Is that all it takes?
Our bosses.
Okay.
I repost our stuff.
Well, I'm just going to use it across the board, though. It's like, hey, Deb, you don't have to, but if you want to, I would greatly appreciate your presence at our next podcast. If you want to, you don't have to, no pressure, but if you would like to be there, I would love to have you there.
I'm at the podcast more than I'm at.
Can you send me the text they send you so I can just copy and paste that and just insert our words?
I sometimes don't post everything that they tag me in. Sometimes sometimes they'll tag me in 5 things in a row, and I'm like, meh, or I'm busy and I just can't. I'm just like open it and just like do what I'm doing, or I just pick one of them and repost. Sometimes I don't do it at all. So what you see is like the minimal of like what I post. They tag me in a lot of stuff.
Okay.
Sometimes I don't. I just want to flood my feed.
Sure.
So.
Yeah.
If that makes you feel better.
No, not really. But this kind of just hit me. I feel like, do you ever feel like when you come in here for a podcast that you're on trial?
Sometimes.
Yeah, you should. You should. I feel like
I'm prepared to be on trial.
I get to look you dead in the eyes and say, why have you betrayed our whole podcast?
Anytime you say, I want to bring something up, or now I want to talk to you about something, or I don't even know. I can't think of anything.
Okay, well now you go back. Okay, hold on.
I'm like, oh God, what is it? What did I do now?
Okay. First of all, it's never been anything Deb's done because she doesn't do that much. So that, you know what I mean? So it really couldn't be that. But they're like, I have an idea, and then I say, hey Deb, I got an idea. She's like, oh, I know you roll your eyes. I know it, and I know anytime I get like a bigger idea that requires like a voice memo, I know you roll your eyes.
When I see your voice memos, I give you my full attention. So sometimes that's why I don't open it all day. I do. If I'm at work, I'm like, I can't open this right now. I have kids around. I can't that's why I'll respond quickly to text. But when your voice memo pops up, I know that if I hit play And if I listen to it, but then I get distracted by a kid and it goes away, they disappear.
It does disappear.
So I'm like, I can't open this until I'm later today, until I'm off work, because I'm not going to pay attention to anything his voice memo says. And then that'll be another thing.
Okay. But going back to what I originally said, you do roll your eyes.
Do you know that for sure?
If there's a gun to my head right now and said, does
Jordan,
she roll her
why are
eyes?
you nodding? Don't nod.
I don't
Jordan.
need to look at him. I know she rolls her eyes, or whatever your like equivalent is of eye rolling. Do you roll your eyes?
No, I do not.
Are you lying to me?
No.
All right.
Not
I don't even know it's
crossing my
truth
fingers.
anymore. Going back to your analogy of us being a married couple and me being, you make me sound like the nagging wife, like, oh, he's always texting me about this. He's always bothering me with this idea or that idea. Oh, have you done this for the podcast? I wish Josh would just shut up. That's what it feels like sometimes.
See? Woman? Man. Just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sure,
it also
if it's
concerns
somebody.
that Deb never ever like says, no, that's not the case. She's just like, see? It was a good analogy. Right? It makes sense.
Oh.
Let me ask you, so I do have a question for you.
Oh, God.
No, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what it is. That was the eye roll.
Is that my eye roll?
That was the
It's my verbal eye
audible
roll.
eye roll. You know what? I don't even know. Like I said.
Okay, what's your question?
If you're trying to hurt my feelings, Deborah,
I'm sorry.
you've succeeded.
Michael
What if
Scott.
I cried in the middle of the podcast because we're having
I would think
conversations?
it's a joke, but then I'd watch if
I
we're here in
appreciate that.
person.
Yeah.
I would think you're joking, and then I'd watch Jordan's reaction, and then I'd just
He's like giving you like, no.
yeah, right. Look and wait for his cue to be like, oh, he's really crying.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. I don't even know what to do at work when my teenagers cry not very often. So I don't. This is why I can't work with the little kids. I don't know what to do when they cry.
Sure.
I'm just like, they're there. Like, I just don't know.
They're there.
I don't know. I don't know what to do. So if you cried, I really wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I think I would just sit here in silence and just wait for you to
Just
stop.
wait it out. It's like, are
Awkward.
you done now? Can we keep going with the episode?
Please don't cry.
Please don't
Okay.
cry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
No,
cry.
I'm good. I'll be fine
Okay.
for right now.
Okay.
A couple more times though. This betrayal. I don't know. But okay, so I was looking at like we've done before this. Am I the a-hole? These Reddit things,
Yeah.
and I like to look those up around the Christmas time because they're funny to me.
Yeah.
And so one of them, I'm not gonna read it verbatim, but basically, this woman has a pretty big family. She has like a pretty probably like let's say 8 nieces and nephews.
Okay.
A couple siblings, so they all get together for the Christmas holidays. And her oldest brother, 1 year older than her, they don't really get along. They don't really talk very much.
Okay.
There's a bunch of stuff that goes into this. I think she was in some kind of accident. He never reached out. They don't live. Him and his wife and one kid don't live, near them. All these different things, right? And so
Okay.
there's some resentment held there. So
Okay.
basically, the question she brought to the table was, okay, I always go big with gifts for my nieces and nephews.
Okay.
I just found out that my oldest brother, his wife, and the kid are coming. I think the kid was like 7 or 8. I'm not going to give him a present. And am I the a-hole for not giving him or getting this kid a present because I don't have any connection with my brother? I don't even know this kid. He's basically a stranger kid.
Okay.
And so, that was kind of the question. And my first thought was like, yeah, you are. Because the bottom line is, if you're like, you don't even need to take this to Reddit. Like, this was a stupid question because
Yeah.
you don't like your brother. You have nothing
Yeah.
against the kid. There was
Right.
nothing like, oh, this
He
kid
didn't do anything wrong.
Right. And so I think you have to like step back and think, if you don't want to talk to your brother while he's there,
Right.
don't talk to him.
Yeah.
If you want to chew him out while he's there, do that too. But like, I think if you have 7 or 8 nieces and nephews that are going to be there opening this awesome present from Aunt so-and-so, and you have this one kid sitting there who's done nothing wrong to you,
Poor thing.
right? Like, I think this,
Yeah.
and everybody was kind of like, it wasn't even like an explanation that like, you're an a-hole.
Yeah.
They
Well.
kept it simple.
Right.
I mean, it just seems weird to me. Maybe it's because I have kids, and like
Aw.
the idea that like I would never do that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, and I get along with all my siblings, so
I do too.
I'm like, yeah. So I don't know what that's like. I do know people in my life that one of them was bitching about it today that don't like some of their siblings, like sincerely do not like them. They don't live in the same town though.
Put a pin in that thought.
Okay.
We'll keep going, but yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what that's like, but Yeah, I would even think, and obviously I don't know the situation with the brothers. I don't know. Obviously, he didn't explain why. Did he? Or no? He
No,
just
I
said
mean,
they don't talk.
she said they don't talk. I think
Right.
there's some issues, but I think one of the bigger things was it sounded like she was in some pretty big accident.
Oh, okay.
And he
Well, it
probably
was a
never
girl and
he
a boy.
never
Okay. Gotcha.
checked in. He probably
Oh.
never. I mean, it's something like that. So
Yeah.
I think it sounded like her feelings were just hurt and was
I-
holding a grudge against him.
I
But
feel like sometimes you could be the bigger person, but I'm not. I'm also not judging. Jordan's shaking his head. I'm also not judging. I don't know. I don't know what to do. But at first sure, don't punish the kid. I think.
right, and I think that's the
Yeah.
question that she brought to the table. Like that, 100%. You know, if it's should you be mad at your brother? Am I an a-hole for not or for being mad at my brother? Like I can't tell you that.
Yeah.
But the kid thing, it's like unless the
Yeah.
kid did something to you, then sure. But the
Right,
kid's like 7.
no.
She's never even met the
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
It would just be a horrible, especially for a kid there's like a certain age range where I think that would be a really tough thing for a kid to, just watch.
Right, and I'm sure that happens a lot. Like the kid gets punished because the adults want to punish the adults
Oh yeah,
by like hurting the kid, like by default.
I've heard situations where they won't necessarily, they won't not get a gift, but like the favorites, right, will get like 3 or 4 gifts, and then the one that at a certain point, there's a certain age where you start understanding the dynamics of the family, and it's like, oh, this person doesn't really like our family. And they don't really talk to us for like these different reasons.
That's
And
sad.
it's a weird thing. Like I said, with my immediate family, that's not really the case. But I did, when you mentioned, your coworkers having some family relationship issues, that was one of the things I saw on I was looking at pet peeves too, because we do so much Christmas, pet peeves. I thought, they're Christmas pet peeves. And that was one of them. Like people don't like the get-togethers and the holiday gatherings because of awkward conversations. And then sometimes it's awkward because you have some issues between you and a sibling, you and a cousin, parents, whatever the situation might be. There's something that makes those situations really uncomfortable.
Right.
And that's always, that's never fun. Now, that being said, if I'm completely honest, I know some situations like that. And from the outside, it's a lot of fun. Because if you're not involved in it, then when you're at these family gatherings, you're watching all this stuff happen. It's like a chessboard. It's like, oh, I can see them by the hot links. But guess what? That person's making their way over there. They're going to exit pretty soon because they can't be near that person. It's a lot of fun from the outside.
I do very well in these situations.
What do you mean?
Like, okay, so my friends often will bring me as a buffer to certain things. If they're going to an event, whether it's family or friends or people that they don't like, they're like, you're coming with me. And I'm like, oh, why? And they're like, so-and-so is going to be there. I'm like, what do you want me to do? And they're like, I just need you there. And so I've several times have acted as they call me the buffer. And I don't have to do anything, but I'm just there to, if I need to step in and keep someone occupied and talk to them, to like,
oh my gosh.
There's one time where I was with one of my friends. I won't say who. If she's listening, she might know who she is, but I just won't say who. And I went with her to her family's house, and this was out of state. And she had warned, she doesn't get along with one of her sisters. She has a lot of them, and she had warned me. She's like, I just can't. I know if I tell her about this or that, I know what she's gonna say anyway. So she started talking about just how in our school system, like, we have transgenders and blah blah blah.
Oh,
and she knew, well, so it's like a semi controversial topic just for that sister, I guess.
Okay.
So my friend started talking, and then the sister like jumped on it right away.
Okay.
And all my friend had to do was look at me. She just looked at me. and I took over, and I was like, well, and then I started, because she's not my sister, I don't care what you think. And so I started, for her, for my friend, it was very just like, she's like, I can't. And so I stepped in, I started talking, but the sister received it differently from me.
Sure.
It was more like open about it.
Interesting.
And it was a different dynamic.
Well, because you don't have all that built in.
No, yeah, exactly. And I don't care. And I'm just, I'm like hardly ever offended anyway.
Sure.
And I'm very calm and whatever. And so later on, she texted me like while we were still there. She goes, "Oh my God, thank you so much." She's like, I like couldn't. She's like, I was gonna like kill myself. Like, I just cannot talk to her about that. She's like, that was way better. So that's just one example. But like, yes, I have been but I don't mind sitting back and just watching and but I'll try to like scoop in and like talk to people to try to
Sure.
like if they're like I can't, you need to go, I can't be over there, you go over there.
Right.
I'm like, okay.
Question from the back.
Are you free Sunday for our family? Because I will pay a large sum of money.
I'll give
Do
you
we need to cut that?
I'll give you an estimate soon, and then I'll be there.
Okay, so serious question. So I'm not
You have like 2 days.
things,
2 days.
and Josh doesn't give really good advice because it's not applicable for the socially awkward. So how am I going to survive these upcoming holidays?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm in peak like social awkward form the last couple of days, so I need help.
I don't know.
Go ahead, buffer.
Well, I mean, alcohol can get you through some things, but if you don't drink,
I feel like I'm gonna get meaner if I start drinking. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Some people with alcohol, it's like way worse. Like some families are like, we do not have alcohol here, we can't do it. And for me, it just makes me like it's just like hee hee, like giggly, like whatever. Like
You've.
oh yeah, we've recorded. Yes, I know.
Yes.
Well, I'm drinking Trulies.
I have a whole
But
theory here. I don't know if you're a better podcaster here or on Zoom.
stay busy. Is there like, can you be like cooking or grilling or like doing something? Like what kind of? Oh no, Jordan, are you like me? You don't cook. Is that what?
It's potluck, so you bring it.
Oh, dang it.
I cleaned
What
dishes,
else could
though,
you
so
do?
that's
Okay,
actually good
do the
advice.
dishes
Do some
because that's what I do too sometimes. And when I do it, I do the dishes because I'm not helping with cooking when I go to family events. So I don't do the dishes to not socialize, but sometimes I get overstimulated too. Like I'm an extrovert, but then once I've extroverted, just as I do with teaching at night, like or after I'm like, okay, I'm done. And I'm just like, I can't. And it's not that I don't want to talk to them. I'm just like, I just need a minute. So I'll do the dishes. So if you could keep busy doing things, maybe even like if people are eating, like, I don't know, picking up I don't know. I just start acting like a freaking waiter. Like I just start asking, do you need more water? I just start being helpful. And then that kind of, and even if I'm talking to someone, I'm like, yeah. Okay, hang on, I'll be right back. And then fill up water or whatever, grab cups, bring them. Do you want seconds? Here, give me your plate. Come on, I'll put that on your plate. Here you go. Just stay busy.
Okay, that's actually pretty good. That's better than I expected.
Okay. From me. You're welcome.
Well, it didn't start off strong.
Well, I was trying to think of, it just took me a second.
Yeah.
I was trying to really
So
think
let's
what
see.
I do. I'm like, that's what I do sometimes.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I
Interesting.
just can't hold still anyway. So, but that has
Sure.
that has gotten me out of some situations too. Yeah. You're
All right.
welcome. I'll bill you later. I charge by the minute when I get my advice. So
For the advice? Oh my gosh. So you're not going to be there with us?
just kidding. Right? Do you need me there now that I've given you that sound advice?
Yeah, you think I'm joking. I would definitely bring you along.
Okay, we'll talk. Because I don't know if you're really serious or not.
Well, he has to talk to the rest of us. He's like, we don't want Deb there.
Like, no,
This is
don't
a
bring
break
her.
for us, too.
Don't bring her.
Podcast done. We won't see her for another week.
I'll be the buffer for all of you. I'll just talk to everybody.
I don't need a buffer. I'm okay.
Oh, okay.
I
It's
bought-
just Jordan.
Yeah, where do you think I get
I don't
podcast
know.
stories from?
Oh.
I got to talk to people there.
Your material.
That's right.
Material. Okay. Anyway,
100%.
that's just tips for everyone else, how you get through the holidays without screaming and yelling at each other and without getting too drunk. Just
Yeah. And don't drive
just
crazy.
be
That was
hopeful
another
and just do
pet peeve.
things. What?
Like, people who drive crazy, there's
Oh.
bad drivers all the time, especially
Yeah.
during the holidays. Just don't do that because
Yeah.
it drives everybody crazy.
Yeah.
And it's not that big of a rush.
Yeah, just
calm
relax,
down.
calm down.
So
Yeah.
I know our camera is at the end of its life right now. So I was gonna say something else, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
So anything else, Deb? Before we get out of here,
Nice sweater. Thanks for mine.
nice sweater as well.
Appreciate it. I'm literally gonna keep this on for a while. So
Good.
'Cause
Enjoy.
It's because it's comfy too.
It is a
Yeah.
nice sweater. This
Yeah.
I'm taking off as soon as we record. We're done recording. So
But that's yours. You keep forever now. So
I'll save
it's
it
nice
for one of my
little
kids
memory.
when they're big enough to wear this.
Or see if Rachel
Even if
wants it or whatever.
Even if I lost weight, this would. It's still too short.
It doesn't. It's not that bad.
When I sit down.
When
When I stand up, yeah. When I stand up, it's like a tube top. All right. Well,
Okay.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas or happy whatever you celebrate.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
That's what I-
So.
That's what I was saying today.
Okay,
Okay.
we will see you guys next week.
Okay.
See ya. Thanks for watching the show. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure you like it, share it, and hit the subscribe button to get a new episode every week. We'll see you next time on the Connectable podcast.